someone who was on my side, who liked sports games and played NCAA 14 college football religiously, my senior year of high school, waiting 11 years for all these NIL deals to go through and college players being able to get paid for sponsorships and likeness, that they're now releasing College Football 25. I could not tell you how hyped I am about this game. Hey guys, welcome to the Nazarene Nerd Podcast. I'm Dave, the Nazarene Nerd. Now, this is probably going to be the setup for my podcast. Normally going to be me and a host if it's in person, which I hope to have a good bit. I already got some guests coming on. My next guest is going to be Andrea Speck, who is a well-known person in our local community for her work in politics and fundraising and sorts of, things like that. She has a lot of connections. She has a lot of experience and whatever. And I had recently worked with her at my job. And so we're going to get down and talk to her next episode about her life, where she, how she ended up doing the things she's done, how she has her connections and stuff like that. But this episode, it's going to be an audiogram after this little segment here, just for the fact that my very first episode, I'm talking to a friend named Chris on Discord in our God Gaming server. Which, if you are a big nerd and a Christian, check out that Discord server. I'll put the link in the description below. It's edifying, and you'll make a lot of new friends. And we sit down and talk about games that we're most excited about this year. And I hope you enjoy that and stick around to the end.
Hello.
Hey. How are you doing today?
Doing well. Just got home from work and I'm just relaxing.
What do you do for work?
I work at an O'Reilly store. I'm typically the closing shift lead, but today they made me open, so that was fun.
I see. I work in a cabinet factory and I just stack pallets and wrap them up. So,
Gotcha.
So it's good to have you on the very first episode of the, I'd say, new season, because I used to have this podcast up, but I haven't recorded anything in like 2 years, I think, something like that. So this is the start of a new era, I guess. Good to have you on, Chris.
Thank you.
Should feel honored. Very first episode.
I am very honored indeed. What are we gonna talk about some nerdy stuff?
Yeah, I think you had the idea of video games, which before we got on, that's all I've been doing today.
I'm tempted to get on some myself after this call.
So I guess we'll start with what is your current binge you've been playing lately?
Revenge. It was Destiny 2, and then I found this other game. Man, now I forget what it's called. It's not a very well-known game. I only just learned about its existence. It's pretty much like a spaceship RPG exploration game where you can go to different small planets. And you could get resources. You can do small quests for different research centers and stuff like that. Go to like Space Pirate.
Is that a Starfield, I think, or Starship or something like that?
Oh man, what is it called? This is gonna. You know what? I think I have it on my Steam account. I have it on my PlayStation, but let me...
Is it No Man's Sky?
It's not No Man's Sky, no. It's similar to it. It feels like you're in like a 90s children's cartoon. And it's pretty fun. Okay, where is it here? I have a lot of games that I keep in my
Oh, I get you. I have Xbox Game Pass, so I got a ton of games that just sit there. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get to that someday. You never really do.
Right.
That's
It's like,
the
oh yeah, I remember this game that I wasn't playing.
yeah. I mean, that's the problem with being an adult. With full time jobs and getting married and have kids, stuff like that. You don't really get time to play all the games you want to play.
Right. That's yeah. I guess that's why I'm somewhat thankful that I'm single because that's one thing that I don't need to worry about. I can just game, but I still have a family life and most of the time I can't just game.
Yeah, I got a friend at work. He plays D&D with us, so that's his life. He's got nieces and nephews and stuff that he sees and takes care of. But it's work and then games and bills. For me, it's a little more
Yeah.
complicated than just coming home, sitting down and playing a game. Especially if the wife's at work, gotta watch the kid till she gets home because my Xbox is in my shed that I set up, and then his is in his room, so I can't really leave him in the house by himself. And
Right. Yeah. D&D is definitely a game where it's like you need to set time aside for. I'm
oh yeah,
struggling just find time to play with a few friends of mine. We were gonna do like a streamer based session, but I end up losing a handful of players due to just life stuff.
yeah, life happens.
And yeah, and then I got busy, so now it's just like, oh well, we'll just wait for a time to be available.
Yeah, I got the group I have. And the two that consistently come, one just had a baby, so it's kind of hard to get out of the house with a newborn of just a few weeks old, which my wife has no problem, watching a baby while we play. But I was going to do one shot actually today, but the past 2 weeks, two players have not been able to show up, and I'm the type of person that like I'd rather everybody that's going to be there can be there. So we were kind of consistent on a schedule. We streamed ours as well, but it gives me a chance to finish painting and getting some story fleshed out for just. I mean, it's just a one shot, but it's less stress on my end of oh crap, I gotta quickly paint all these minis up and get some terrain and stuff. So
Right. I found the game. It's called Starlink Battle for Atlas.
I've never heard of that. Is it a Steam specific game or is that on consoles at all?
I played it on my PS4, and I have found it on Steam. It's like at this time it's like $29.99, and it's you get I believe 9 planets that you can explore, and like each planet is the equivalent of say a section of a map, and then space is just free roam where you go to like a hyperdrive,
Mm-hmm.
and by doing so it attracts the attention of like space pirates and the main villains of horses. And throughout the story, you can upgrade your ship. You can get different ships, and you can even change the character your playing as, because every pilot has their own ability. Every ship has their own ability, and you can swap weapons whenever depending on the fight.
Now, is there fast travel in this game?
Yes, there is. I believe it's. I think it's only unlocked after a specific story part is complete. But I mean, I'm the type of like RPG player who does every side mission before doing the the actual story, unless I'm
Yeah.
like forced to. So it took me a lot longer to unlock the fast travel, but if you just play the online how it's quote unquote supposed to be played, then you will unlock it pretty fast.
That's what I tend to do as well, is not finish the story before I do side quests and stuff, because that it kind of goes along with the game that I've been binging lately. The game I played today, because I found it on Game Pass, was that Little Kitty Big City, which are just a cat. It's kind of a mixture of
Oh yeah, like exploring like an Asian city or something.
yeah, it's a mixture of Untitled Goose Game and that new cat game that they released like 2 years ago.
Oh, so it's like that.
Yeah, so you go around doing. I mean, you are a third person cat, but you go around and collect shinies for the one crow and feathers and stuff like that, and you collect little hats. It's adorable, and I started today and almost completed just about everything. But
I mean, yeah.
with not completing the story, I guess the game that I've been binging for the past like month was Fallout 76, because I go through these phases of obsessions, and my wife and I had watched the Fallout show, and I'm like, I'm gonna hop back into Fallout 76 because it came out in 2018 and it was awful. The glitches were terrible and nobody wanted to play, and I just have been playing it almost every day that I get home from work and I get a chance. And there's a main story to it, I believe, but man, I could not tell you where it's at in the game. I've just been, every time you enter a town, oh, new quest updated, check your Pip-Boy for this.
Right.
And so I just don't know where to go back to the main story, trying to get rid of like little tabs in the right top hand corner of like, oh, I'll do this, and this. And I've got like 5 or 6 of them that just consistently stay there.
Sounds like the cyber punk effect. Like when that game came out, it was such a horrible release. It was legendary. It was like everyone was talking about how bad of a memeably bad release it was. And as soon as the show came out, everyone went back to play it again, and the studio just said, "Okay, we need to step up our game," and then they fixed I think everything from what my friends tell me.
Yeah, I've never played any of the Cyberpunk games, but as far as I've been told, that the game is like really good now. I mean, obviously there's still some glitches and stuff, but that's the problem with games, movies, like movies. If they take too long, they're probably going to be really bad. All the reshoots and all the rewritings and stuff. But games, if the longer they take, the more that you know they're going to be very good. So when games release just like that, they tend to have all the glitches and all the bugs, and a lot like EA. It's just like we got to pump out something every year, compared to GTA 6 supposed to be next year, something like that, or 2026. I don't know at this point.
Yeah.
And that
it's like,
go ahead.
That reminds me of the whole it's like every year or so we get a new Call of Duty or Modern Warfare.
Mm-hmm.
I never got into it. I hear of its golden age, but that's long gone. But it's like they just give a slightly updated map or a brand new map. They take one map away and the guns look slightly different, and it's just a new slogan. And I'm like, that's boring.
Yeah.
I just never got into that. A lot of just very popular games I just don't get into. I just never see the appeal of them. Like Fortnite, I never saw the appeal of it. I tried playing it and I'm just like, okay, this is just PUBG, but you're just dressed up as Star Wars characters or something else. It's Yeah, it's just PUBG cosplay.
Pretty much, yeah. I think that's the appeal of every time that I do hop on to Fortnite, which I used to be terrible at it, but had gotten better. I can get top 5 consistently, not amazing, but better. And it's whenever they have new skins. There's a T60 armor from Fallout that's in this new season that I'm very tempted to hop on, but it's like level 50 that you unlock it, and I'm like, that's a lot of grinding for this chapter that I'm not a huge fan of. The whole Greek mythology I don't really care about. So, but yeah, with the whole Call of Duty, same deal. I never really got. I mean, I used to play Call of Duty all the time, but back whenever Black Ops 3 had come out, that's probably the last time that I really played it because of the zombies and just the multiplayer was a lot better. But now it's the same game every single year. So and being that Microsoft has acquired Activision, I am just going to wait till it hits Game Pass. I'm not going to buy any games. I'll just play the last Call of Duty that come out when the newest one comes out and save money.
Yeah, it's like I always find myself just scrolling through either Steam or the PlayStation Store and just looking for just something new to play because I'm weird. I hate being the one who just plays what everybody else plays just for the sake of like playing it. It's like, oh well, this is the thing that everybody does. Hop on, just play this, and I'm like, what else is there? And that's how I found that one Starlink game. It was pretty fun, and like I still play, and it's super fun. But another thing that I like doing, I'm a big just straight up RPG guy. So like we have Skyrim, Morrowind. We play like WoW. We play Star Wars: The Old Republic. My Emily and I are big like RPG nerds, and yeah, I think my favorite one so far has to be the Star Wars one. There's just I feel like it gives you a lot of freedom as far as like class customizations go and abilities.
Yeah, I love RPGs as well. I played Skyrim religiously when it came out. Now it's just I'll hop on for I'll play it for a few hours a day for a week or so and then get bored with it just because it's the same thing over and over. Here's a re-release. It's been released how many times since when did it come out? Like 2011. Yeah. So same thing with Grand Theft Auto. It's we're waiting on the next game, and I mean Fallout 4 had come out I think 2014 to 16 somewhere around there, and Bethesda said yes, we're going to do Fallout 5, especially with how amazing the show did. Now more people were interested in it, but it's not going to be until after Elder Scrolls 6, which that's been since 2011. It's been over 10 years,
over a decade. Yeah, it's like, why are they just re-releasing everything from like a decade ago?
Because people still buy it.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just thinking, like, are they just this creatively like bankrupt, or are they just lazy?
It could be a bit of both. I mean, but like we said before, that the longer the game takes, the better it should be. I'm hoping that Elder Scrolls 6 introduces a lot more playable races, better mechanics it's not so stiff, and it just something that's out of this world, completely different mechanics wise, but still holding the same value that Elder Scrolls holds with its stories and how big the world is.
I think when like Skyrim came out, that was like, that was them just flexing. That was them saying, guys, check this out. It's a banger. You're going to love it. You're going to play it for years to come. it's a smash hit, and it was.
Mm-hmm.
People are still playing it, and I'm like, this is the same energy they have to bring to the table when the like once their next game comes out. If it's not, I mean, they're already kind of in like hot water as it is,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like y'all need to bring a banger. You need this thing to work. If not, it's like you're just like losing credibility at this point. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I find the most sad about Bethesda, there's legitimately I'd say one person that's keeping the game alive, which is Shirley Curry, who is better known as the Skyrim grandma. That is her living. She lives in a assisted retirement village that every day that's all she does is stream playing Skyrim or record episodes playing Skyrim and then doing vlogs about it. And she actually she's writing a book about some of the characters she's made in the game. Like that's I would say legitimately keeping the game alive. And the saddest statement is she said, I really hope that they release Elder Scrolls 6 before I die, because she's got to be in her 80s at this point. And I'm like, if that's not a kick in the butt to Bethesda to be like, come on, get the game out so she can play it, or at least have her as one of the beta testers or something,
Right? Yeah, I remember seeing that, and that was also a couple or so years ago
Mm-hmm.
when they released that.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, I hope that they do for her sake, and I hope it's something that she will be proud of too. Because imagine working on something that much and then they
Really
just make
pile of poo.
Yeah, yeah. It's oh my goodness, I would be so mad. I mean, if I were in that situation, my passion project just turned to dust for brownie points.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the same energy, or just energy in general, I'd say that could bring us to what we're most looking forward to game wise. We'll start with you. What game do you know that's coming out that you're most looking forward to playing?
Okay, going to my Steam account, my good sir.
Scroll. Look at all these wish lists. Scroll.
Let me see here. Coming soon. So I don't know if you've heard of this game. It's called Earth from Another Sun, and from what the devs are talking about this game, they said, and I quote, "You could do whatever you want in this game. You want to build a ship? Do it. You want to have your own army and conquer? Do it. You want to explore the cosmos and do other things like that? Have a farm like a Minecraft style thing? Do it." And so I'm like, okay. And so I don't know when they're going to release it, but it's on my wish list, and I'm just, I'm watching you. We'll see what you got. Also, one more is called R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos. It's supposed to be releasing on Steam sometime this year, and this was a game. It's a 2D strategy game where you're in spaceships, and you position your ships on these hexagon shapes, and you fire down these chasms against these your opponent's ships. And it's this was on the PlayStation Portable. This is when this was popular. I used to own that game, and it was very fun. It's such a relaxing time killer. They had soothing. It's relaxing combat music, like combat music ASMR. It was oddly satisfying to listen to cool, calm fighting music while you're getting beat up by these alien ships. And yeah, again, it's a 2D style game, and yeah, I'm excited for that. How about you?
Growing up, I was kind of an enigma in the sense that I was a nerd, and
Fair. Same.
I my favorite superhero was Spider-Man. I like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. I mean, I've grown up to realize I like fantasy more than I do sci-fi. So, if it's going to be between like Star Wars or Lord of the Rings, I'd more on the side of Lord of the Rings. Anyway, being a nerd growing up, I still sat on the fence of I played sports, and by the time I was a senior in high school, I was the starting running back for our high school. Fastest kid in the school, and as far as I could tell, who went out for sports. And
Nice.
so, being the enigma, I really enjoy sports games as well. Mainly football. I play a little bit of basketball, some baseball, but I suck at those games, so I have to like cheat and make my character 99 overall for everything. But this year has to be the best year for releasing games for EA, because someone who was on my side who likes sports games and played NCAA 14 college football religiously, my senior year of high school, waiting 11 years for all these NIL deals to go through and college players being able to get paid for sponsorships and likeness, that they're now releasing College Football 25. I could not tell you how hyped I am about this game. And like we said about games taking forever to make, usually are really good. This, like I said, this has been 11 years in the making, and it's not the same dev team that made Madden, so we don't have to worry about the same hashing of reskins and rosters and just look a new mechanic that we've updated from 10 years ago. This is a new dev team that cares passionately about college football and the old games, and from the trailers that I'm seeing, and my favorite aspect of a team builder, to be able to create your own teams in it, I am so hyped about this game that I'm going to, as soon as I can get a little bit of cash build up, pre-order to play it 3 days early. And I've got so many ideas for teams I'm going to create to make a whole conference of just custom teams. And 11 years in the making of this game, and especially I'm from Pennsylvania, so to see Penn State with new graphics of uniforms played, and I can actually have Penn State beat Ohio State for the first time in how many years through fantasy, because it's I don't know if it's going to happen anytime soon. Yeah, so I just it's been on my bucket list for the past 11 years, and my 360 that I have inside the house still sits there for the sole fact that I downloaded NCAA 14 11 years ago whenever I could. And now I can finally put that thing to rest and sell it, because I'm going to be able to play the brand new college game.
Oh man, that's exciting. It's like I was never much into football, but I remember when I was a kid, and they just had amazing sport games. They had like these cool just baseball games. They were fun to play. I was a big racing game guy, so like we bought so many NASCAR games when they were coming out. I think my favorite one was 2014. I'll need a double check on that, but it had everything that I like wanted for a NASCAR game. It was a very simple team building. They had the perfect career playthroughs that you could do, championship runs. You could do championships with like split screen. Yeah, I remember split screen, guys. Split screen used to exist.
Yeah, I know. Or you had to, like, your brother or your friend sitting there nudging you, like, quit looking at my screen. Yeah. Especially if you're playing Call of Duty, I know where you're at.
Yeah, and it was just, oh man, it was so fun. There was one after that. I think it went on the PlayStation 3 when the PlayStation 3 first came out, and it was such a game changer because you could actually like upload skins for your car.
That's pretty sick.
If you just had a USB drive, you could slip by certain things in there, and you could upload your own thing. My brother made a PlayStation themed car, and all I can say is chef's kiss. It looked amazing.
I mean, the younger you are and being able to do stuff like that, I mean, I think they still do it now with and the NBA games where you can upload an image online and then bring it over to the game. And, that's just stuff like that just gives fans the excitement of being like, look, I created this. I can be a part of this. And I mean,
this is my team. See that symbol, that team, that's mine.
Yeah. I mean, my senior year of high school, we went 0-10 for football. We were terrible. But with NCAA 14, I was able to upload our school on there and go through a road to glory where my high school went 10-0, and I got drafted, or I got picked up by Penn State. Where I'm a part of the game, and that's what people want. They don't want. I mean, these Madden heads that are just obsessed with NFL, which I like Pittsburgh Steelers, but anymore I don't really care about the NFL. It's all soft touch ball, and it's. I'm waiting for the day for it to be just paid for. Like WWE, whoever pays the most money to script wins, and I just don't care anymore. But college football, it's hard hitting. These kids have something to live for. They're they may be getting paid deals and stuff for sponsorships, but they're working to get to the NFL. Once you get there, there's a whole different story. But these kids are playing hard to get there to begin with.
Right. Yeah.
And with NASCAR, I never got into like NASCAR games. I've played a couple because my best friend's a race guy. Every Sunday he's like, yeah, I'm watching the race, I can't play or whatever. But I can't be too hypocritical because I was in track. And for the 4x4, I ran a lap. I'm like, there's a left turn. There's another left turn. There's a third left turn. What comes next? I can see the appeal of people, going to the races and the roaring of the cars in the stadium, and people have their own likes, and I'm not going to bash them unless it's blatantly weird for and maybe we'll get into something like that for another episode. But
right, there are several maps that aren't just a giant circle or just a different shape of a circle. There are like other winds and turns. I think it's I think it's Florida 400. I think I remember that right. I'd be 300. But yeah, I mean that track is windy and as turny as it could be. It is spaghetti noodle gone wild. It is. Yeah, it's. I remember it being a difficult track, especially when you play on the higher difficulty, because I mean, there's a lot of turns you have to actually use the brake pad.
Yeah.
And it's like
brakes exist. I mean,
yeah. Oh shoot, brake pad! I haven't trained enough for this.
I saw someone say, "I'm going to put my foot on the pedal to the floor, and I ain't going to take it up until I see the finish line or Jesus."
Facts. That is how you play NASCAR. It's just like you are going in a circle, just pedal to the metal, give the bumper kisses until you get there, and dodge them wrecks. That's how you play NASCAR.
Well, I think we're just about out of time here. I thank you for coming on to this episode kind of last minute, Chris. It's I've been trying to get this episode up and running, and hopefully I can get some more people from the Discord. If anybody wants to join God and Gaming Discord, run by Assassinator Steph, originally created by was it Alyssa Peachy, I think her name was.
Oh, I forget. I've only talked to her, I think once.
Yeah, I know. Life happened and she had to step out for. I think she went back to school or something like that. But now it's run by Steph, and hopefully I can get her on at some point. But it's a blessing to have a Christian Discord server that has kind of the same interest, to be able to pick up someone like yourself to be able to just sit down and have a conversation. I know it was short today, but my shed is getting real hot and I'm starting to sweat. But thank you again for jumping on last minute, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening and able to just hop on and relax and play some games.
No, come on, man. You see, guys, this is heater gamer talk. It's sweaty.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks, man. I gotta get dinner in the oven anyways. But yeah, man, thanks for having me. It was fun.
No problem. Maybe hopefully we'll get you back on some other time.
Sounds good.
See you, man.
See you, buddy.